Well, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another rousing yet pertinent rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. Are American knives worth it? Are they worth the cost? Well, immediately we have to say this: it's subjective. This is my opinion. I want to talk to you on American made knives. I want to take it in a couple different stages, but I don't want it to be long. William Collins is one of my favorite makers. He's a one-man operation out of Texas, does an amazing job. I love William's work. Jed Hornbeak is an American maker out of Tennessee. Love his work. One-man operation. This is the beast. I got to clean it up. Donnie B. All Day was the designer on it. These guys are single-man operations. Jacob, from a very good knife company, one-man operation, does the kydex, does the hand sharpening, does the scales, does the whole deal. Everything's done by hand. Very good knife company, does a very good job. We are having a GoFundMe to help him get into a new shop. Is it worth it? I think so. I donated. He is a talented guy. His knives are worth it. But I was asked, and that kind of sparked this video a little bit. I was asked, Gab, why do they say that $280 is affordable? One, you have to remember this. Knives are subjective, right? Everybody has different budgets. Now, we're going to cover a couple of different things. First and foremost, Jacob is insanely talented. But Jacob does not have the buying power of, say, Spyderco, another American-made knife company. I like this Spyderco. I love the PM2. I lost mine. I'm kicking myself for it. Those are my two favorite Spyderco. Well, the Shaman. They have better buying power than Jacob, and probably Jed and William. I don't know their business, but I'm just saying. So Jacob not only has to do everything by himself, including shipping, which he does it for a living. He does it without complaining. He does it, but it's going to cost more. Why? Because he's going to pay more for materials. He's going to pay more for shipping. He's going to pay more. Now, listen, this is not a justification video. I'm just trying to lend some insight to it. Affordability plays into this, right? When my son was younger, in his 10th grade year, his mom sent him here to live with Megatron and I. At a bad time in our life, we both lost our jobs. We were struggling, but he's my son. And Meg said, no, send him on. We're fine. We'll make it. We ate them damn Stouffer's box meals every day. That's what we could afford. Ate them till they were coming out of our ears, son. I love American-made knives. I really do. But I couldn't afford it. Did that make it not worth it? No, it just meant I couldn't afford it. Now, if you follow this channel at all, you know I don't care what you carry. Let me quantify that. I don't mean that from an asshole standpoint. I mean, you carry what you like. You carry what you can afford. You carry what you can carry. I'm always going to be excited. I love when people tell me. I love when people come up to me and show me. Guys at work are showing me all the time. I try to carry as much American-made as I can, but listen to me. This Emerson's on me every day. Are Emerson's worth it? To me, they are. At that time in my life, I could not have bought an Emerson. Didn't mean the knife wasn't worth it. It meant I couldn't afford it. Still liked them. Fast forward 10, 12, 15 years. Megan's been in her field for 10 years. She does very well at it. I have a good job. I can afford it. It doesn't make the knife any more worth it. Does that make sense? So I'm not, if you can't afford it right now, I get it. It doesn't mean the knife's not worth it. Now, let me say this. There are some companies that charge way too much for what you get. Okay. But I'm not here to tell you, I'm not here to tell them what they can and cannot charge. We're not a communist society. We're not a socialist society. And we're going to deal with that in just a second. They're going to charge what they charge. There are some I wish they would lower it. I do. But they're not. That's their right. Doesn't mean the knife's not worth it. Just means maybe you can't afford it. And I'll go this far. It may not be worth it to you. Let's say that. Let's say that. It may not be worth it to you. Right? So you have to look at it. When we look at this, I want you to understand a couple things. You cannot remove price from this video. I'd love to. I'd love to just look at the quality. But we don't have an x-ray machine. We don't have a heat treat machine or something to give us the HRC. We don't have any of those things. So I'm going to show you a few knives. I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. And I'm going to talk about the industry some as a whole and some of the things that I've seen over these past 4 years. And if you will forgive me 1 second, there's two knives I want to grab. And we're back. All right. Sorry about that, but I wanted to grab just a couple knives. I'm going to show you a couple on the higher end. The Medford Praetorian T. Now, this was a gift to me from Captain Electro. Medford Praetorian T in S90V. This is an expensive pocket knife. I do carry it. I do use it. I have a hard use video on it. So does Donnie B all day on this knife. People that love Medfords love Medfords. People that hate Medford hates Medford. It may not be worth it to you. It may not, but it doesn't mean. I can tell you this: worth it to somebody and value are two different things, right? They are. While it might not be worth it to you, that doesn't diminish the value of the knife. The market's been set. He sells out of these damn things all the time. Doesn't matter if you think it's too high or I think it's too high or what. He offers some cheaper models. Here's a knife, the Spartan Harzy. This is my all-time favorite pocket knife. It just is. Brandon Thrasher gave me this knife. I love it. Would I buy it? You're damn right. And yes, it's a little more money, but this is a knife I use. It's a knife that can take a beating. This is a knife that I can tell you, while some people say, well, there ain't no knife worth $500. Again, there's people that buy them and buy them and buy them and buy them and buy them. We all have different opinions. We all have different things. We all have different. One thing that I can tell you about the Spartan Harzy folder is the quality is there. Okay. Now, is it worth $500? That's up to you. That's a decision you have to make. I do want to say this, though, to knife companies. We hear this a lot. Support the American worker. Support the American worker. So I'm going to say it back to you, American knife companies. I realize you have to make a living. I realize you have to pay your employees. I realize you have mouths to feed. I get that. I get that we're a capitalist free republic. I get it. But when you're preaching to us about buy American, help the American worker, realize that you're talking to American workers. Realize we get a little tired of hearing it. I love all knives, and I love a ton of guys in this industry. This Monday night, we're going to have Greg Medford. We're going to have Eric from Phobos Knives. We're going to have Curtis from Spartan Knives. We're going to have Ernie Emerson from Emerson Knives. I cannot wait. It's going to be insane. I love having those guys on. It's going to be a great, great round table, and we're going to talk about all things American knives. We're going to discuss veterans. We're going to discuss all that. My thing is this. It's a two-way street. I'm not asking anybody to cut prices, but I'm asking you to be realistic. That's one group, the bigger makers. There's guys like Jacob and William and Jed who have to charge what they charge. They're one-man operations. They put out quality work. That's undeniable. Oh, I ain't never going to pay it. Well, then don't pay it. Doesn't mean it's not worth it. Doesn't mean the value's not there. It may not be worth it to you, but it doesn't mean the value's not there. They're in demand. They sell out on the secondary market all the time. This is a Randall. JR sent me this. This particular model has been my Grail knife since I was 10 years old. It is a model 1-7. No, there will never be a hard use video on it. There doesn't need to be. I just sit around and look at it. Doesn't matter if people agree with it. Doesn't matter if they like it. Doesn't matter if it makes sense. It is worth it to me. The value is there. I don't understand the appeal of Randalls. They've been around for a long time, and you either get it or you don't. You just do. You don't have to like it. I've said that a million times about this knife. There's just something about it, and people that own Randalls will tell you there's just something about a Randall. Now, again, for me, it's not price. I'm not going to cut the video off again, but I have my most treasured knife is my grandfather's old timer. Schrade old timer. I'm sorry. It's an Uncle Henry Schrade. It was made in the USA. My grandfather bought it. It's the last knife I have of his. You don't have enough money to give it to me. To somebody else, maybe a $5 knife. To me, it's $1 billion knife. So you have to factor that side into it. There is the gift element. There is the construction element. And let me say this too. Not every American knife is worth its price. Not every one is. I've seen guys make knives. Well, I can't sell this for less than $300, less than $400. Well, maybe you need to work on your craft a little more before you charge somebody that. I mean, let's be real. Maybe you need to work on your game a little bit before you go out. Oh, I can't afford it. Then you might want to think about a different hobby, because that's what it is. As a knife reviewer, knife demonstrator, knife whatever, I try to be very, very picky about the knives I show on here. I really do, because I'm not into bashing people. There's other channels that do that. They get good views, good clicks off of it. And I'm not knocking them. Friends with a lot. It's just not what I do for a lot of reasons. But to think that every single American-made knife is this great piece of work, it's not. Y'all know that. I'll tell you one of the best values out there. This is the K-Bar Zomstro. It's $45. And listen, oh, that'll break. I've seen Joe X break it. I've seen Joe X break tops, K-Bar tops. Yeah, he's going to break everything there is. These are cutting tools. This knife is $45. 45 bucks. And it's a hell of a chopper. Got a hard use video on it. The other thing is, I don't try to break knives. That's not the game for me. I just want to use them demonstrating. But I'm amazed sometimes at how many knives get broke. I'll have them on my channel, and I'm not saying they're bomb proof. I'm not saying they're blockbusters, but I never had a problem. Some are American. There is some American-made bias for and against. There are. There is in the knife reviewer world. There just is. If you think there's not, you're foolish. And that's not pointing fingers. That's everybody's got their shtick. Everybody's got their thing. This is a great value. It is. It's worth it, and the value's there to me, right? Not every knife is. I'm not a Benchmade or an SE guy. That don't mean the value's not there. It's not worth it to me. I never have been. It's nothing political. It's nothing, none of that. I like what I like. You like what you like. Why are we doing this video? Because I wanted to articulate a couple things. Here is the Max 7 from Tops. I love Tops. Not everybody does. I hear, well, they break you. No, if you use it for a non-cutting type thing, if you use it for a pry bar, just about any damn knife up here is going to break. Just about, not all, but just about. This is a cutting tip. This is actually a stabbing offensive weapon. Top sent it to me, Leo and Craig, and I'm forever appreciative, and I will do a video. And I can't just walk around stabbing people as much as I would love to. I can't. And we'll do some bushcrafty, we'll do some industrial cutting, but we're going to do a lot of stabbing. But here's the truth. This knife is made to stab people. That's what it is for. It is a dagger. No arguing that. What you pay for it, you can either afford it or you can't. Is the value there? Well, how many people do you need to stab? See, that's the other thing. So let's look at it in a couple ways, and we'll wrap it up because I've already talked longer than I wanted to. When you're looking for a knife, American knives, are they worth it? Some are, yes. Some are not. But that depends on your budget, right? That depends on what you're using the knife for. That depends on if you are a collector, a user, and either one's fine. If you are a trader, there's guys who get knives to trade. They enjoy that. This whole knife thing is subjective, man. It really is. It really, really is. As a knife world, as a knife group, I need to do, as a person in that, I know that I need to do a better job calling out bullshit. We're going to work on that more. But we also need to do a better job of communicating certain things. Let me just say this. In regards to the whole Chinese thing, I am an American worker. I've worked on the books for 37, 38 years. I work hard. There's been times I haven't, but for the most part, I've worked hard my whole life. A lot of that 37 years, I worked 2 jobs. I don't need to be preached to about what I can show. More than that, I don't need to be preached to about what I can buy. And I'm not going to preach to people. If you're an American company, let me just explain this to you. I think if everybody here knows how you feel on Chinese knives, everybody. You don't have to keep saying it. You know what you can do to help everybody out? Take that time and focus on your product. Up your game. If the American knife industry would up its game, I can't tell you what the price. I refuse to. As someone who works, who pays taxes, and respects the American worker because I am one, I can't tell anybody what to charge. I won't do it. But what I can tell you is this, dear American knife makers, whether you're a one-man operation, whether you're a damn company, get your ass in gear on QC. Get that product quality up. You know how you take the market back. And because one of the best knives I got is this little damn Otter Creek Barlow from Rosecraft Blades. I love Mr. Andy. I love Rosecraft Blades. This knife was made in China. Do I feel bad? No. You know why? Because I've cut on camera with it for about 67 days. I've opened boxes. I've beat the shit, and it's still going strong. Piece of shit. No, it ain't. It's a good knife. I know that there are people who can't afford either one of these. Hell, The hell did I do it here? I can't afford this. CQC7. I love my Emersons. I carry Emersons every day. They have to buy what they can afford. I've got a guy who watches this channel, and I'm not putting him on blast. The only job he's been able to get in the area he is a security guard. He makes $12 to $13 an hour. He has to provide for a wife who is on disability and a child who is special needs. He has to work 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts to make it by. Who the hell am I, or who the hell are you, or who the hell is anybody to tell a man who is a veteran, by the way, well, you just need to save up. You need to kiss somebody's ass. We need to get out of that. We need to get out of that so fast your head will swim. If you're an American knife maker, I understand how you feel. I do. But I feel like if you'll focus on your product and on your customer base, you won't have to say all that other, because everybody knows. There are guys who would rather buy American made. I love my American made. I love all of them. I don't give a shit who makes it. Y'all know that. Y'all watch my channel enough to know that, and I use knives. And there's the dogs. They're telling me it's fine. Look, are they worth it? Some are, some are not. I know that's it's not a fence riding thing. It's just the truth. You buy what you can afford. You carry what you can carry. Hold your head up. Be proud. If you bust your ass and you work, I don't care if you're man, woman, boy, or girl. I don't care. Be proud of what you carry. Nothing wrong with it. This Monday's Veterans Day. Veterans have a special place on this channel. 22 veterans a day at one point in this country committed suicide. The number's higher, actually, between 15 and 35, depending on what time of the week it is, right? That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. I'm good. We focus on the number 0. Anything over that is simply unacceptable. Vets, you're welcome here. You have a place here. I back the blue. It's not popular, and sometimes it's not easy to do. It's not what it is at face value. There's a lot behind it, but I do. I don't shove it down your throat. I don't argue about it. It's just one of the tenets that I live by. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Well, guys, I love you. Feel free to comment. Let me know how you feel. Again, this isn't to be argumentative. I feel like I feel. You feel like you feel. But give me your give me your insights and your thoughts. Join us November the 11th for the biggest roundtable in history. I'm Scab. You're not. I love y'all.